Sawubona Mzansi, and welcome to this evening's MIH Live. So, we've been getting up to some interesting things, and we're going to get up to even more interesting things today. So, I just want to check if everything is looking good all over. So, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to check on TikTok on my phone to see if I'm live over there or not. Because that's the one thing I'm not sure about right now. Everything else seems to be fine. I am live over there. But today's one. Okay. So it looks like I am live on TikTok also. Cool. Nice. So, thank you so much everyone for joining the live this evening. What we are going to get up to is we're going to continue working on the Mzansi directory. So what I got up to today is, if you saw the video that came out today, or let's speak about yesterday first. So yesterday what we got up to is we were completing, what were we doing yesterday? We were completing the testing out the personal profile preview. So that has your profile picture, your username, name, surname, and then also the type of account that you have. Let me know what you think about that. If it should be something else. Yeah, if it must be something else from that. But then today or yesterday what we started getting working, or today what we started getting working on is the business profile. So this one is slightly different to the personal profile. It is the same thing. You have your profile picture, you then have your business name over there, and then below that what's different compared to the personal profile is that you'll see the kilometer distance from you and the business. I'll get into how exactly that works and what that's all about, but let's see what we are up to. So let's see what we are up to. Let me know in the chat if you're out there, you can say hello. So we're gonna start working on that. So let me head over, switch over to this. Let me switch over to the screens for you. We'll do the right hand side, yeah. So let me show you what we got up to today. So if we have a look over here, so this is the dev on the right hand side of the screen. You'll see we have the dev version of MIH open, up and running at the moment. So thank you so much for all the likes. I appreciate you. Oh, let's minimize this. Nice. Okay, I'm seeing things are popping through in the chat now. Please, you can say something, say Sawubona, say hello in the chat so I can see that everything is working. But to me, it looks like everything is working fine right now. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you what we got up to. So remember, everything that we're doing now is currently sitting in the test package. The test package is a place where we go to test out the functionalities that we are working on, instead of putting it inside the package that we are looking for, or the package that we're working on, and then messing things up, making it look a little bit untidy. So we move everything over to the test package to test out different widgets that we are creating. So if we open that up, you'll see that we have the personal preview. So that'll have your profile picture. Remember guys that because we're using because I'm currently streaming from this laptop and also coding from the laptop and all of these other things, performance issues, I'm not going to use the Android emulated version of MIH because that's a little bit resource intensive. So we're just using the Chrome version, the web version, and testing it out of there. But because we're using the web version, there's some issues. I know what the issue is, I'm lazy to fix it, but there's some issues when pulling through images when using the web version, but that's only in dev. Everything, excuse me, in production, everything is working fine, as you can see from most of the demos that I've shown you. So over here, we're looking at the personal preview here at the top and the test preview. If we switch over to this one, let's open up Canva and let's see what things are looking like. So this is it over here. So this is the Mzansi directory. We currently have v2 up and running. So if we go into our test version, if we go to the personal profile, you'll see that everything is okay. No, let me add a purpose over here. The purpose is to be a test account so you can play around with MIH and start falling in love with it. So once that's ready, we can submit. Now if we go back, you'll see our purpose shows up over there. So we have our profile picture. Remember, the picture will show up in production. We have our username. Let me know what you think. Should we leave the @ over there, remove the @? So one of the members of Mzansi did suggest that we remove the @, so let me do that quickly. And you can see what exactly is going on. So what is I doing? So let me change that for you. So I'm going to switch over to the coding side for the people on TikTok. And we're going to head over to our... Something was going on with VS Code, but that's okay. Let me know in the chat what you are thinking, what's on your mind. But the things are up and running again. Let me run it. In Chrome. Yeah, sorry, VS Code was doing nonsense to me, so I changed that now. But yes, what we were doing is we'll let that go up and running for us. Yeah. So v2 is currently, we completed this. We have our purpose, we have our username, first name, surname. So we're looking at v2 now. We have our profile picture, username, first name, surname, account type, and also the purpose. And instead of connect, we have edit profile at the moment. We'll add the connecting later on in the next phase of the Mzansi directory. I hope this is not the thing. Ugh, it is the thing that gave issues. Yeah, but cool. So what we want to do is let's sign in with the test profile, and I want to remove this @ from our personal profile. So if we head over to VS Code, we'll go to our Mzansi profile, our personal profile, and the personal profile. Yeah. So over here, very simple, very easy. So we'll just scroll down. Don't laugh at the long code, but we'll continue scrolling down. It should be towards the end. Yeah, there's it over here. Scroll up. There's the @. So you can just go back. Down, 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 down. Delete this. Control dot. Remove that. So now when things load, we can see that everything is looking fine now. So we'll open up the personal profile. So this is what it looks like. Let me know what you think. Should we have the @ over there to represent that it's a username, or should we remove it and people can just assume that it's the username, right? So let me know. So that's the personal profile, done and dusted. Then we have our business profile. So here, depending on if you have a website loaded or not, it'll show the website link. But we have call, email, and location. And if you enter a website, it'll enter the website over there, or the action to open up or navigate to their website. It'll be available over there. But the important thing, what we're looking at today, is inside the test package. It's this. So you see, it's asking me if for my location, right? So because we need to get your location so we can find the difference between you and a business, I will allow while visiting the site. And you can see things are loading. Let me, yeah. So you can see on the above there, what we're trying to do, we're trying to work on is this. So if you can see on the screen, under the people, you have the profile picture, you have the username, first name, surname, account type. Under the business side, we have the profile picture also, or the company logo, the business name. I have business email over there, but let me know. I didn't add that in. I felt like there's no need for that. If you click on it and it takes you to a place where you can just email, there's no need to have that there. And then the kilometer distance away from you at the moment. So that's what it looks like. So if we come here, we have under the personal profile, these are for people. We have the what tech stack? Oh, sorry, I just saw your message now. Thank you so much, Furry Thumbs Cape Town, for the follow. And hopefully you're still there in the chat. But what what's the tech stack you are using or are proficient in? So I'm proficient in MIH, right? So the technology stack that we are using for so firstly, our foundation is Docker. So Docker is used to create different containers for the different aspects of MIH, like authentication, AI, front end, back end, database, right? All of those things are different containers inside our technology stack, and we use Docker to spin that up and make it easy for us to deploy. Then we have the front end, we are using Flutter as a framework. So Flutter, if we have a look at Mzansi, Flutter is a, wait, before I continue, let's ask Mzansi AI, what is Flutter? Firstly, let me see. Yeah, let me ask Mzansi AI, what is Flutter? Then we can understand what Flutter is all about. Thank you so much, Owen, for the follow. What is Flutter? Flutter. So Mzansi AI will answer us. We can just listen.
Hey there, let's talk about Flutter. Basically, Flutter is a fantastic toolkit developed by Google for building beautiful, natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single codebase. Think of it like this: you can write your app once and deploy it across iOS and Android devices, super efficient. It uses the Dart programming language, and it's known for its fast development, expressive UI, and performance. It's a really popular choice for developers now. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of Flutter, like its key features or how it compares to other frameworks?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI, for your answer. You don't need to elaborate. So that's what we're using now. That's the front end tool to create MIH is Flutter. So Flutter is an open source technology created by Google, and it's supposed to be easy for you to deploy to multiple different platforms. So I know Mzansi AI did mention mobile, web, and desktop, but to be more specific, it is iOS, Android, that's the mobile side. It's the web, which is different browsers. And then we have Mac OS, Windows, and Linux, right? That's the desktop version. So you can code once and deploy on all of these platforms at the same time. This is why we are using Docker as the technology tool, right? In the backend, thank you so much, Furry. So in the backend, what we are using is Fast API to connect our application with our database. So in order to push information to our database and pull information from our database, we're using an API layer and also other things like document generation, all of those kind of things, right? But let's say, what is Fast API? Let's listen.
Okay, let's dive into Fast API. Fast API is a modern, high-performance web framework for building APIs with Python. It's built by the same team behind Fast API, and it's designed to be incredibly fast and easy to use. Here's the key thing: it's built for speed. It leverages Python's type hints to ensure your code is clean and efficient, leading to fast API development. Essentially, it helps you quickly create robust and scalable APIs. Want to know more about its features or how it compares to other Python web frameworks like Django or Flask?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI. So that's what we're using for a backend, right? We're using Fast API for our API layer. So that's to, like I was saying, to manipulate our data in the database, retrieving information, posting information. Hey, homie, I checked your video. Seems like you are new in Kick and okay, never mind. That's just a scammer. That's all right. So yeah, we're using Fast API as our backend technology, right? Super cool. And also, like I mentioned, we are using Docker as our containerization tool, and Docker has their own Docker hub, right? So the hub is a place where other people post Docker images. So if I want to know about Llama, which is what we are using for our AI, you just saw Mzansi AI now. So if you click on Llama, it gives you, there's Llama and created by Llama. If we click on this, it takes us to the Llama page where it'll break down how exactly do we create an Llama Docker container. Super easy, super quick to do, right? So this is what we're using for that. So even for Fast API, if you want to create which cloud service are you using? We aren't using any cloud services here at MIH. Everything is hosted and built in-house unless it's a free and open source technology. So our servers, it's a physical server at our own studios. So we aren't using AWS or Google Cloud Services or Microsoft Azure. Those are the big three that I know of. We're not using any of those. We are hosting it on our own premises, on premises. The reason why we are doing that is to save on costs. So as your solution grows and gets bigger, that's actually mad cool. Thank you so much. So yeah, we're saving costs because I don't want to, as all businesses do, if they have to increase their costs on their whatever, say like their staff cost increased, right? They're going to push that cost onto the users. So what we're trying to do in MIH is to use free and open source technologies in order to reduce the cost that it takes to have the application there, and we don't have to push it onto you. And then because MIH is free, you can download it on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store. Because it's free to use, free to download, uh, that's how we're doing it. If we are using something like AWS as we go, things are going to get more expensive, and then now, forever, the whole life of MIH, we're going to be paying Google, Amazon, or Microsoft every single month. I don't want none of that, right? So we're using our own premises, our own servers, our own networking, everything, right? And it was also a fun experience understanding how to spin up our own server and connect it to the internet. Because when you're using AWS and what's this other thing, AWS Azure and probably Google Cloud also, they will give you a server space and they'll already give you an IP address and say, here's your IP address to connect your website to, right? Your domain to. But that's a whole lot of work that they did in the background to spin that up for you and give it to you. So we had to learn all of that in order to push MIH out into the internet. So yeah, that's our technology stack. Thank you so much, Fari, for your questions and your comments. So that's what we are using. If you have any other questions, please let me know. We will continue with that. But let me switch over to the code, not coding. So over here, right? So what I was explaining is if we head over to our Canva, so we use Canva. Again, it's a free tool to use. It's like a PowerPoint, but a little bit more powerful. So we are using Canva to just design some things because I use it for thumbnails and for videos and all those other things. So it's an easy tool. I understand the tool. I don't have to go learn another tool like Figma, right? Figma is you need like a whole lifetime to learn that tool itself. So I'm just using Canva. But if you see when we open up the Mzansi directory, there's going to be 3 different tools that's available for us. The first one is contacts. So the contacts will be the people of Mzansi that you've connected with, right? Or the pending requests. The word contacts, I'm not 100% sure about yet, but that's what we have for now. That's what the people of Mzansi agreed upon, and we'll continue from there. The next thing we have is our favorites. What's my internet speeds? Okay, thank you so much. I see there was 2 questions. So before I carry on with the Mzansi directory, so to answer Firefly, RSA, over on TikTok, he's asking the question, what's my internet speeds? I think I'm supposed to get 200 down, 200 up. but you know how internet service providers are, it's like 150 maybe. So that's the internet speed that we have also. Next question is from Tebo. So, do you know about Post-it? Don't know much about servers, but I think we use that. Post-it. So cool. So the first thing that we'll do is, let's see. The first thing that we'll do is we will ask Mzansi that question, right? What is Post-it? Post-it. 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 Please explain what Post-it is. Let's see. No, I think Mzansi AI is talking
Hey there,
nonsense to us.
let's talk about POSIT. Within the MIH app, POSIT refers to the *** Mzansi profile. It's your central hub.
Definitely the wrong answer. Let's go to Gemini and ask Gemini what that is. What is POSIT? Am I spelling it correct? So it's hosted on premises, my friend. So we have our own server, an actual physical hardware that we are using to things. So POSIT generally means to assume. Is there something else that I can add to this? Because both AIs aren't saying POSIT in terms of servers. In terms of servers. Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what POSIT is. POSIT, formerly RStudio, is a company that... Wait. I'm not going to ask Gemini. I'm going to ask Mzansi AI. Okay, let's see.
Okay, let's talk about POSIT in the context
Let me know,
of
Taibo,
servers.
if this is correct.
Basically, POSIT is a serverless computing platform created by Amazon Web Services, Oz. Think of it as a way to run code without having to manage servers yourself. Instead of renting a whole server and setting it up, you just upload your code and AWS takes care of all the infrastructure, scaling, patching, and everything else. It's great for things like handling website traffic spikes, processing data, or running small, independent tasks. Does that make sense, or would you like me to explain any part of it in more detail?
Thank you so
Perhaps
much.
you're curious about how it differs from traditional server setups.
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI, for that answer. So basically, it's like a serverless architecture for running applications somewhere, right? So we're not using that. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So yeah, the next question from Firefly was, where are you hosting Mzansi website? So MIH, as you can see, it's app.mzansi-innovation-hub.co.za. So we are hosting this on our own premises, on our own physical hardware, right? So like Mzansi AI was saying over here, that Amazon takes care of the rest for you. They just provide you with an IP address. So I didn't want that because them taking care of the rest for us has costs associated to that. So I don't want none of that. I don't want none of those extra costs. So we did it ourselves. Then I think you should add a prompt. That is great. What OS is a server running? Ubuntu OS server edition. Ubuntu OS server. So fun fact, Ubuntu, which is a Linux distribution, was created by a South African. Crazy, but 100% true. So yeah, Ubuntu server. All you'll have to do is download that, and then you can have everything up and running from there. So on our server, we have Ubuntu on it, and then on that Ubuntu operating system, we have Docker. Docker is the containerization tool, and each container itself, containers gets even deeper than this, but each of those containers have their own operating system inside it. I use Ubuntu on a daily, exactly. If you can see on the bottom of the screen, you'll see I'm also using Ubuntu. I don't even know how to prove that. But yeah, this thing over here is very Ubuntu-esque. Over here, very Ubuntu-esque. So yeah, I'm also dailying Ubuntu, and I'm happy with it. Thank you so much, Josi, for the follow. So cool. Now getting back to MIH, right? So we're creating the Mzansi directory. For those that are new and just heard about this, the Mzansi directory is going to be a package inside MIH that allows you to search for people and businesses across Mzansi, right? So you'll just go in there and search for a person or search for a business and click on them. And once you click on them, it'll take you to V2. If it's a personal profile or just an individual, it'll take you to V2, which will give you their profile picture, their username, name, surname, account type, their purpose, so their purpose in life. That's instead of a bio, that we're using your purpose, because I don't want people just typing garbage over there. I want to actually know what's people's purpose. Thank you so much, Bossy, for the follow. So the purpose and connect, but you'll see in MIH, it's edit profile, not connect, because that functionality is going to come later. So you'll click on that. Or if you search for business, it'll take you here where you'll have your business logo or profile picture, the business name, the business's mission and vision. So when you are looking at this business, you'll figure out like, what is this business all about? What services do they offer? Do they align with what I align with? Thank you so much, Firefly, for the follow. And below that, we'll have a rating. So when you open up, say I'm looking for a plumber, right? I want to know if other people of Mzansi like this plumber, or are they a little bit scammy, right? So this is what the rating is all about. Then we have some action buttons for us. So you can either call this business, so that I'll give a demo of that. I can't give a demo now, but when you click on call, it will open up your default call app on your phone, or if you're using a laptop, it'll open up the call app on your laptop if you even have one, right? Then we have email. Click on it, it'll open up your email client, and it will auto-populate a mail, and then you can just edit it and send it to the business. Then you have location. This, when you click on it, it'll navigate you through Google Maps at the moment. It'll navigate you, or it'll take you to Google Maps to navigate you to that business. Then we have the business's website. So if you click on this, it'll take you to that business's website, so you can find out more about them on their own home turf, right? Then there's the rate us functionality to rate the business, and bookmark. If you click on bookmark, just like the connect feature in the personal profile, it'll add them to your Mzansi directory, right? So this leads us back here. So when you first open up the directory, the Mzansi directory, it'll take you to contacts. So this is your contacts, your people, right? That you want to connect with. Then the favorites, favorite businesses. All the businesses that you enjoy going to, enjoy using. So you save them in your directory for later, instead of searching for them each time. And then lastly, the last tool is the search tool. So this, you'll search for something, and then a list of people of Mzansi and a list of businesses of Mzansi will appear that we can select from, right? What is your main power source to your hardware? Very strange question. I guess Eskom, since we're in South Africa, but yeah, the wall. I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question correctly, but we are using Eskom, like all South Africans, to power our server. To your hardware, yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just a computer. So when you're thinking of servers, guys, don't think of it as some huge data warehouse with thousands of machines over there, right? At the moment, because we're still small, it's just a normal tower, normal computer, normal gaming computer, if you can call it that we repurposed into a server. So we put server hardware on there, and the purpose of it is server stuff, right? So it's not really a whole huge data center that we have. It's just one machine at the moment, right? So we're using Eskom. Eskom is our power source. So this is what we have. So what we're going to work on, or what I want to showcase to you today, is if you have a look at the people of Mzansi, you'll see that there's some repeating things. So you'll have your profile picture, username, name, surname, and account type, right? Then we're repeating that again, and then so on and so forth, right? So we created a widget so that it can be reusable inside our code. So a widget is any element that you see on the screen inside Flutter, right? That's what I'm speaking about when I speak about widgets. The exact same thing for the business, right? Profile picture, business name, business email. Let me know what you think about that. Should it be there? I'm thinking no. And then below that we have our, thank you so much, 2Dog, for the follow. Below that we have the distance from you to that business, right? So that you can see if you're searching for a plumber, you don't want to find a plumber in KZN if you're in Gauteng. You want to find someone at least close by you, right? So this will give you an indication of how close they are to you. Now let's finally move on to the code. Let me switch for you. Or, no, let me not switch, sorry. Let me showcase the thingy. So like I said, the people that are here for the first time, so glad I finally caught you live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Ntombi, for joining us. Please, if you have any questions, let me know. Ask away, and we will try our best to answer it. Our connection is lagging a bit. Is it? So I'm checking on my side. If you can look over here, everything seems to be fine. I don't know if it's me. Everyone else, other people of Mzansi, do you agree with Ntombi? Is things laggy on the TikTok side? Power source all the time, so similar type of setup. So yeah, it's just a like all computers. So Ntombi, I'm sorry about the lagginess. I will try and fix that, but I don't think it's on my side. Firefly, it's basically just, yeah, it's just a computer plugged into the wall. Not at the moment, right? It's not a huge data warehouse. Next question, I understand. Okay. Next question from Nuts. Welcome back, Nuts. I appreciate you. So, what backend platform is good when connecting my app to my web? My app to my web. What backend platform? Yo, I don't know if I understand the question. What backend platform is good when connecting my app to my web? What is your web? That's what I'm not to my web app. Oh, so okay. Let me try and understand this, right? So you have a web app that's separate from your main app, and you have your application, right? So you have two separate code bases. Let's call it code bases for your application. But now you want to figure out what's a good backend platform so that you can connect to the same database. Am I understanding that correctly? Sawubona, good evening. So we use, so I don't know all platforms, right? But what we use is Fast API. Yes, so what we use as a technology is, please explain Fast API and its use cases, right? So remember, guys, if you have any questions and I'm not around, feel free to ask Mzansi, right? Most of the time, Mzansi AI is correct, but slowly but surely we will improve
Hey
this.
there, let's talk about Fast API. It's a super cool framework for building APIs in Python. Basically, Fast API is designed to be incredibly fast and easy to use. It's built on top of Starlet and Pydantic, making it great for creating APIs quickly. So, what can you use it for? Building web APIs. This is its primary use. You can use it to create APIs for websites, mobile apps, or even other systems. Data science applications. It's often used to expose data from machine learning models. Microservices. Building small, independent services that communicate with each other. Prototyping. Because it's quick to develop with, it's fantastic for quickly testing out ideas. Fast API's automatic data validation and documentation generation are really what set it apart. Would you like me to elaborate on a specific aspect of Fast API, like how it handles data or how to get started?
So yes, thank you so much, Mzansi AI, for that answer. So Fast API is a tool that you can use built on top of Python and some other technologies that allows you to easily and quickly create and prototype APIs. So API is application programming interface. So it allows different applications to interface with your program, right? So that's basically what an API does. So in Nuts's case, he has multiple applications. So he has a web app and he has a mobile app, and he wants to connect these two apps to the same database using one set of tools and technologies, instead of having your web APIs over here and then you have your application APIs over here. You want one set of tools to use in order to communicate with his database. So I'm seeing over here, I'm using Convex right now. It makes me crazy. It's not fetching the data from my mobile app to the thingy. Thank you so much, Ntombi, for the follow. So I have no idea what convex is, but let's see. Let's try and draw something over here for you. All right, so let's zoom out over here. So basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, right? So you have your web app here. Yo, copy paste. So you have web app, increase that, web app, then you have let's say Android. Android app. Then you have, let's increase that. Then you have iOS app. All right. So how I think it should work, right? And then on top of this, you would have your DB. All right. Well, let's put this here. Copy paste. Put this here. So you have your database, right? The database is the truest sense of your data, right? So there shouldn't be one database, or the data is sitting on the mobile phone and you're trying to send it from the mobile phone to your other web application. I think it should all, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys, but I think it all should go through or via the database, and this is your API layer. API layer. Let's see. So because my web app is like the admin site, okay, same thing. So what we're saying is we have, let's try zoom this in a little bit. So we have so let's say we have 3 applications at the bottom, all coded with different code bases, all right? Say you are natively coding each of these. So you have a web app, you have the Android app, and you have the iOS app, right? I think the information, so the admin stuff, right? So the admin will use the API layer. It shouldn't use anything other than your API layer to update information on the database. So the web app will push information to your database through the API layer. The API layer will push that to the database, right? And then the mobile apps, whatever the admin updated on your web app, they will pull that information from the database. So the truest form of your data is in the database, all right? It shouldn't be anywhere else. So when you update the information in your database, then on the mobile app or the iOS app, it will, if you're using one API layer for all of them, right? Instead of having different services for each of them. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so for us, what we use over here is Fast API, right? We use Fast API for this. And for all of these ones over here, underneath this, instead of using different code bases, we are using Flutter. So let's position this backwards to the back, actually. And yeah, what we have at the back, let me change the color of this. Add some text. Flutter. So let me know if this is correct. How are other people doing? This is how I do it. I'm not saying I'm using React. That's fine. React Native. That's okay. A framework is just a tool, right? Like any other tools. Instead of Fast API, we could use Django over here. We could use Node.js over here. There's tools do the same thing. Understood, sir. Thank you so much. So let's zoom back in here, right? So we're using Flutter. Even instead of Flutter, we can say React Native, right? Same thing. It's the exact same thing. How's it, Dr. Pixels? Nice to see you. Exact same thing. So so I think what you need is to have an API layer, right? So you're saying you use convex. I'm not really sure what convex is, but all of your things, whether you're updating information, pulling information, they should all use the same API layers to pull that information from your database and push your information to the database. Please follow me. King, if you follow me, I'll definitely follow you. No problem. After the live, I'll follow you. Where will you launch and host your Python Fast API? So you just host it on a server, right? I host mine on Google Cloud right now. Like I mentioned to, I don't think it was Firefly, who was it? Furry Thumbs at the top, and Firefly is we're using our own server, our own infrastructure and stuff to host the MIH server, so everything to do with MIH and the technology we're using. So instead of having a Fast API server over here running on Google Cloud, then the web application running on AWS, then something else running somewhere else, we're using Docker to create containers for each of those technologies. So in our case, Docker will be used for our database. In another case, Docker will be used for our fast API layer. Next one, Docker will be used for our Flutter application. All right. So this is what we're using. What does the application do? ZSH, I love that question, and Mzansi AI will answer it for you right now. So, what is MIH all about, and what features do they have? All right. Remember, if you have any questions about MIH, please feel free to ask Mzansi.
Hey there, let me tell you all about MIH. It's pretty awesome. MIH is basically Mzansi's first super app designed to make your life, both personally and professionally, a whole lot easier. It's one central place to manage pretty much everything. Here are the key features. Mzansi Profile. Asterisk asterisk, this is your hub. Manage your personal and business details here. Mzansi Wallet. Asterisk asterisk, digitally store all your loyalty cards. No more fumbling for plastic. Patient Manager. Asterisk asterisk. Specifically for medical practices, it's a fantastic tool for scheduling appointments and managing patient data. Mzansi AI. Asterisk asterisk, that's me. I'm here to answer your questions and give you a hand. Calendar. Asterisk asterisk, keep track of your appointments, both personal and business. Calculator. Asterisk asterisk includes a handy tip calculator. MIH Access. Asterisk asterisk, manage your profile access security. Does that make sense? Would you like me to elaborate on any of these features in more detail?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI. So that's basically what MIH is all about. It's the first super app of Mzansi. It provides you with multiple different powerful packages that is going to improve your life to whatever extreme, right? So let me go through and answer some questions. I hope ZSH that answers your question. So how do I get access to Fast API? Is it free? So this question was nuts. So 100% it is free. The best way that you can get access to this is to use Docker, in my opinion, or some other containerization tool. So all you have to do is Google Docker, and then here click on Docker Hub, right? After clicking on Docker Hub, it'll take you to their Docker Hub page. At the top, just search Fast API, right? Click on Enter. Oh, Fast API. Then you'll see, here's it over here. This one at the top, you'll see there's a verification tick over here. So you can click on this. They'll explain how to spin up a Docker container that has Fast API inside it. You'll have to do a little bit more research and stuff like that. So please feel free and use this. You'll see that there's even code here at the bottom. This is the code that you'd run in the terminal in order to spin up the Fast API server, right? So do some research on Docker. Then once you get some understanding of what Docker is like, then understand what Fast API is like, and then try and install Docker on your computer and get it up and running just with this line of code over here. Then thank you, Kunza, for the follow. Then you had me at Hub, right? Is Mzansi AI actually accessible online, or is it still on your local machine? Love the question, DJ Holly. Holly. So, if you would like to access Mzansi AI or MIH, all you have to do is just search Mzansi Innovation Hub on Google, on the Play Store, on the App Store. And you'll see will pop up at the top, Mzansi Innovation Hub. You'll click on it, and it'll take you in if you've already logged in, but it'll ask you if you want to sign in or do you want to create an account. You can create an account and move on from there. It'll take you directly through to Mzansi AI. So we are accessible on the internet and on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. We are accessible all over. So yes, it's not only running locally. I launched my Fast API on Google Cloud Run and use Firebase for database and storage. So let me go back to the diagram. It'll be easy to explain Riser. So remember I said Docker is for all of this. Flutter is our front end. Fast API is our API layer, and we're using MySQL for the database layer. All right. So the reasons why I'm not using Firebase, and we're also using super tokens for authentication. So I'll show you here. Super tokens for our authentication layer. And remember, our philosophy here at MIH is to use free and open source technologies to reduce the cost that you have to pay for using MIH, right? So look, open source user authentication. So I know Firebase automatically does that for you, makes it super easy to do, but there are free and alternatives out there. If you look at Firebase, as your company scales and as your user base grows, you're going to have to start paying Google, who created Firebase, every single month in order to continue using Firebase. And if you've exceeded their storage capacity in the database, you're going to have to start paying them every single month. But the benefits of using free and open source technologies and hosting it on your own servers, on your own premises, on your own hardware, it reduces the costs, right? There's zero cost now in order for technologies that we are using. He uses Docker. Thank you, bro. Does it help? You have to be more specific, King. Does it help? DJ Holly, thank you so much for the follow. Please, everyone, don't forget to download MIH from the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. I'll tell you about the other features. How did you learn AI development? So I didn't learn AI development at all. Once again, we are using free and open source technologies. This is not my LLM. I didn't create an LLM. I am using open and free technologies. So if you would like to learn more about AIs, right? Just spinning up your own AI server, for example, or using a local LLM. I'm using Olama, right? Which is the open source standard for AIs. It's like the Docker, but for LLMs, right? So go on to Olama. You'll see get up and running with large language models locally, right? So let's explore the models. So these are the models that we can use right now today. What Mzansi AI is using is Gemma 3N. So if we click on this and you have Olama up and running, then all you have to do, so let's say you want to use latest, right, which is basically the 4 billion parameter. If we click on this, once you have Olama up and running on your computer, all you have to do is run this. Olama run the model that you're using. If it's not downloaded, it'll download that model for you and start that large language model already. So I didn't have to code any of this. I just used the free tools out there and YouTube, of course. And if you want to know, so this is just the technology, right? The next question you're gonna ask is, how do I set up my own Olama server, right? Because you're gonna have to need a server somewhere with this technology on it in order to access it, right? So once again, because we use Docker, we go to Docker Hub. In Docker Hub, you say Olama, right? Here's your Olama server. Here's the code to run an Olama server. It's there for you. Once you run this code, you have an AI server running on your computer. There's no hectic development, none of that, right? It's just there. Free and open source technologies, guys. Okay, this guy is more versatile than me. We're all on our own journey, don't worry. How did I learn AI? What's this? So, Bryden, I think you must be a little bit more specific. How can I create my AI? All right, if you want to create your AI, once again, I would suggest looking at Docker Hub Olama, then looking at the actual Olama page. Once you're here, then another question you're going to have to ask yourself is, which AI do you want to use? Right? Each of these AIs were built by different companies for different purposes with different data on the back end of it, right? So you must choose which one you want. If you want a thinking model, you can see this one thinks. So before the actual answer comes, the AI is like talking to itself, trying to understand what's happening, what the question is about, and then answers you, right? But if you don't want a thinking model, you can use any other one. What we are going to do is, probably in the next update, is get Gemma 3N, right? Because this is the latest one. It was released how many days ago? A week ago. So kind of fresh off the press. So we can use this. But remember, guys, so how, if you want to run an AI, how Olama works is when you spin up an Olama server and the LLM is up and running, Olama has to put that large language model somewhere, right? Somewhere in your computer. If you just have a CPU and RAM and a hard disk, right, it's going to put that inside your RAM for easy and quick access to it. If you don't have enough RAM, it's going to push it into your hard disk and it's going to be super slow in answering your questions. So you're going to have enough RAM on your computer to run the large language model. And if you want even better performance with your large language model, I suggest having a graphics card, because how the graphics card calculates compute stuff is much quicker, much faster, and is, I think, built specifically, like NVIDIA built CUDA. I think that's their AI stuff that helps an AI use a GPU in order to run its models and things like that. So yeah, make sure you have enough RAM. And when I say have enough RAM, if we open Gemma 3 in, or just Gemma 3, sorry, if you look at the size, so your RAM is going to be, or going to have to be, higher than what's inside you. You're going to have RAM left over for other system processes to run, right? If you're just using normal RAM. So make sure if you have like a 16 gigs of RAM, you can do 8 gigs, and that other 8 gigs will be left for other system processes. But you can't go and use a 17 gig one. That's going to chuck that into your hard disk, and it's going to be super slow to call from. So that's how the technologies that you need to learn is Ollama, Docker. Those are the two technologies, free to use, right? No costs. I'm going to download this. Thank you so much. Random, but recently switched to Ubuntu for better Flutter dev. Love it. You can see I'm using Ubuntu over here on my laptop. But when I'm deving for MIH, I have a Mac Mini, but I was forced to get the Mac Mini because in order to publish on Apple's App Store and to firstly test out the application to use the simulator, you have to have physical Apple hardware. So I had to go buy a computer in order to develop for Apple, which is kind of a pain, but I love Ubuntu. I love it too much. And I love Flutter also. Well, I'm going to download this. Thank you so much. So thanks for the info. I wish I could gift you, but I'm a broke student. Don't worry. Your support is enough for us. Your likes, your shares, your follows, your downloads, and just use MIH. I think when you use MIH, and even if you come with issues or with improvements, that's also you supporting us. So it's not only about monetary support, guys. I like Ollama and Docker. It saved my life, especially Docker. Do you use Hugging Face? So, very interesting. Alien God. Let's see what Alien God is talking about. So once again, I don't know what Alien God is speaking about, so I'll ask Mzansi AI. What is Hugging Face all about, and how would I use it? Question mark. Let's listen.
Hey there, let's talk about Hugging Face. It's a super cool platform that's become a hub for all things AI, especially in the world of language models. Basically, Hugging Face is a community and a platform where people share and use pre-trained AI models, primarily for natural language processing, NLP. They've got tons of models for things like text generation, translation, question answering, and more. How would you use it? It's really easy. 1. Hugging Face Hub. ***, this is their main website where you can explore all the models, datasets, and spaces. 2. Hugging Face Transformers Library. ***, this is a Python library that makes it super simple to download and use these models in your own projects. You can find tutorials and examples on their website, https://
Thank you, Mzansi AI, for that. So it sounds very familiar to or similar to Ollama. Let's check out the website, Hugging Face. Interesting. I'll definitely have a look at this, right, to see how I can benefit from it. But for now, we're just using straight Ollama and choosing the models from there, right? Was Mzansi AI built and trained from the ground up, or did you guys use an existing model? 100%. As you can see on the screen right now, we're using Gemma 3, right? The 4 billion parameter model, right? So in our server, we have an 8 gigs graphics, NVIDIA graphics card. So once again, like I said, we look at the RAM when we're choosing our models, and you see the biggest, or the 12 billion parameter model is 8.1 gigs. So that surpasses our GPU RAM. So that's why we went for the 4 billion. But what we are going to do is we're going to switch to Gemma 3N, and use again the 4 billion parameter model, but I think this one was trained it's a little bit more efficiently. It's newer, it has fresh data, things like that, right? So we didn't build it from the ground up, and we definitely don't claim we built it from the ground up. As you can see by the Mzansi AI logo, we do have the Olama logo over there. So I'm not hiding the fact that we use Olama for this. Then I understand the Apple conversation-ish. Exactly. It's a struggle, but I wanted everyone in Mzansi to use Mzansi AI, so the Apple people are out there. Do you use WSL since you bought Mac? Damn. If I don't know what WSL is. Hugging Face, same as Olama, but since I have small RAM, I use Hugging Face cause it uses GGUF. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Nice. Okay. Olama needs high RAM, but I use it with small parameters. Yeah, exactly. So I'm using it with smaller parameters. We're increasing it slowly but surely. When we require more RAM, we will upgrade, maybe get a new GPU or another GPU to add it, and then increase the LLM from there. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. What is WSL? Check out Oh, I think I know what WSL is. That's the thing of inside Windows, you have like a virtual machine kind of Ubuntu terminal inside there. So I get that. So now I don't really use that on Thingy so I don't use WSL on Mac or on Windows because when you're using Docker, so one of the main benefits of Docker, let's ask Mzansi what that is. What is the benefits of using Docker? All right.
Hey there, let's talk about the benefits of using Docker. Essentially, Docker helps make software development and deployment so much smoother. Here's the gist. Consistency. *** Docker creates a container that packages your app and all its dependencies, meaning it runs the same way everywhere, your dev machine, testing environment, and the live server. No more, it works on my machine. Issues. Efficiency. *** Containers are lightweight, so they start up quickly and use fewer resources than a full virtual machine. Portability. *** You can easily move your app between different environments without worrying about compatibility problems. Scalability. *** Docker makes it easier to scale your application by quickly spinning up new containers. Basically, Docker streamlines everything. Would you like me to elaborate on any of these benefits, like perhaps how it relates to the MIH app's functionality?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI. That was extremely insightful. So you see, so instead of me going in a Windows machine, now going through WSL in order to get the same experience that it's going to be like on my server, because my server uses Docker, all I have to use is Docker on whether I'm using an Ubuntu laptop or a Mac OS or Windows, Docker is going to run the same across all of them, right? So there's no need for me to try and use a virtual machine to try and get the same experience across my machines. Docker does that for me. It automatically does that for me. So let's see. Docker is king and a lot of devs sleep on it, definitely, but it also depends on the environment that you are working, because big companies use Kubernetes, something like that, Kubernetes, which is basically the same thing, but it's not free and open source. I guess this is mainly for big companies. Oh, it is open source, an open source system for automating deployment. So it's the exact same thing, container orchestration, which is what Docker does, but I don't know, I started using Docker and I like it. So do you know MCPs? I have no idea. Use the full word, Alien God. Use the full word, then I might know it, but I don't know what MCPs are. So yes, getting back to what I was originally speaking about, right, is when we, not here, this. So what I was creating is these things over here. Model Context Protocol. I have no idea what that is. I have zero idea what that is. What is Model Context Protocol?
Okay, let's break down Model Context Protocol, MCP. Essentially, MCP is a standardized way for applications to request and receive machine learning models, like the ones you'd find in the MIH app, though we don't use them directly. Here's the simplified version, asterisk asterisk. Standardized requests. Asterisk MCP defines a common format for apps to ask for a model. It's like a universal language for requesting models. Efficient delivery. Asterisk asterisk it allows models to be delivered quickly and reliably, optimizing the way models are accessed and utilized. Model versioning. Asterisk MCP supports tracking and managing different versions of a model, which is super important for updates and maintaining accuracy. Think of it like this. Asterisk asterisk imagine ordering a drink at a cafe. MCP is the menu that clearly states what you're ordering, ensuring the barista, the server, understands exactly what you want. It's a really important piece of tech for making machine learning models easier to use across various applications.
So I definitely not using MCP unless I'm using it indirectly. But when you spin up a Docker Ollama server specifically, right? It comes with its own. I think they themselves use Fast API inside the Ollama server. It already spins up a endpoint for you to access the the LLM running on this. So I'm not sure where exactly in my workflow I would use an MCP, but Obama already provides me with an endpoint to the server that it's deployed on that I can use and call from various different applications if I'm understanding it correctly. I've met many devs online. They don't know MCP. They say I live in America. MCPs are the new APIs. Interesting. What's a technology? What technologies? Let's say, what technologies can I research about that uses MCPs? So serverless computing, what? API gateway. MCP is often integrated with API gateways to provide a centralized entry point for accessing models and handling authentication authorization. Interesting. This looks like a whole nother rabbit hole that I have to go down. Check Docker, they have MCP features now. Interesting. Definitely something to dig into later on. Definitely something to dig into later on. But cool, yes, like I was saying, what I was creating is this over here. It's a custom widget that we're creating, and this over here. So if we have a look at our dev environment, you can see localhost at the top. This is not production. If we go to our test profile, you'll see that we've now done that. This takes in a thing called an app user. The app user has specific properties like the profile picture, username, names, all of those kind of things, and it displays it for us. So we have something that can be reusable across when we're searching for a user, and when we're displaying that information to you, we can display this over here. And same thing on the business side. The only difference is the content that is being shown to you, right? So we have our profile picture, we have the name of the business, and the cool thing, or I think it's cool, but let me know what you think, is we have the distance from you as you are, like you where you are right now as you speak. So it gets your current location. And then if we head over back to our business profile, so what a business would do is when they're setting up a profile is they would set their GPS location, right? So I'm sitting at my shop at my business, I'll set the GPS location. It's now set. I would update that. And then when a person is searching for, say, a business, it would show up. You see, so I set my location to here right now, where I am at the moment, and you can see the kilometers change to 0 kilometers away. That's because where I am right now is the location of this business, right? So that's something cool that we've done, but it's not this. It's not super accurate. Let me explain why. So I was testing out today, and if you were to search for this business on Google Maps, right, and get directions from there, what Google does is it calculates the actual kilometer distance of the road itself, the pathway to the road itself, that the pathway that they suggest to you of the road that it takes. So that's why, say for example, it'll be 30 kilometers to a destination. But with Mzansi AI, because I don't want to use Google's technologies, because once again, we're going to pay for that. One day in the future, we'll use, I think it's Open Street View or something like that. But it's an open version of Google Maps. And we'll integrate that into MIH to get more accurate distance. But what it's doing right now is it's taking the GPS location of you. So say you are point over here in space, and then it's taking the business, which is here in a point in space, and saying what's the distance between these 2 points, irregardless of what route you're taking, what's the distance between those 2 points. So that's how it currently works. It's not the best, but I think it will serve our purpose for now because, say for example, I want to search for a doctor near me. I will be easily able to differentiate or find out there's a doctor who's in Pretoria compared to there's a doctor down the road from me. Down the road will be 2 kilometers maybe, and then in Pretoria it'll be 50 kilometers maybe, right? So that's how you'll differentiate between the different businesses. Not super accurate, but accurate enough, I guess. So that's what we're doing, right? Let me know in the chat if you think that is fine, if you think this is a good feature, good idea, and we can hook that up. And I'll show you again. Let me go to, where's this thing? Yeah, but that's what we're getting up to. So what I'm gonna do next, share the live, encourage more viewers. Thank you so much, Alien God, for sharing the live. I appreciate you. So yeah, so what I'm gonna have to do now or next. So I don't think I'll do it now in the live because it'll be a little bit too much work. I'll have to do back-end stuff and a whole lot of things that I'll have to do now. But is to now work on at least the search functionality, right? So these two features, they can come later on in MIH, right? Like the phase 2 rollout of the Mzansi directory. But in phase 1, I definitely want to have a business search, right? The business search, and it's going to use what I just showed you over here, these functionalities. And don't worry about the profile picture not showing up. That's a coding problem on my side, and I'll explain it now, right? So when you are using the web and iOS, how they refer to your machine is with localhost, right? So localhost is your actual machine that your computer is connecting to in order to display what's here. So as you can see, localhost is here, right? But on the other hand, when you are developing for Android, you can't just use localhost to communicate with your computer because it's running inside an emulator, right? So I think how Google built it and did things is the emulator uses 10.0.0.2, something like that, some API, not API, some IP that refers to localhost. Then once you call that one, then the emulator itself will call localhost for you. So the issue that's arising now is on our back end when we are using dev, when we're in dev mode and we are calling the profile picture. So I'm saying bring me the profile picture. It's bringing me the 10.2. something. Let me show you here quickly. Or let me not do that. Let me not be a fool. Let me switch over properly. So let me switch over to my code for the people on TikTok, and then you can see what I'm talking about. It should be, let's reload it, and the error will pop up, don't worry. So over here there should be something that says the IP address of it, but basically it's saying that the IP address is 10.what, but the computer is trying to fetch that and it's fetching nothing, right? So that's what's happening right now. So that's not an issue on our side. That when I switch over to Android, that will get fixed, right, automatically. So it's not an issue. Yeah, that's what we're working on. What do you guys think about the kilometer things? Do you think it's misleading? Should I have like a little star message inside the Mzansi directory saying distances are not accurate as per the road distances or something like that? I'll think of the correct messaging for that. So I think you're looking at code right now. So let's switch back. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So we'll be live again tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow we'll dive in. Let me know what you think. If you want me to dive in instead of working on front end stuff, do you want to now learn back end stuff, right? So fast API things, all of those kind of stuff, right? And over there we use Python as the language because we're using fast API as the server. That's a Python technology, so we're using Python for that, right? So we're gonna work on the backend stuff. W Stream Station. Thank you so much, Dr. Pixels. Love it, love it. So yeah, tomorrow I'll start working on the Mzansi directory, just the search screen, and get that working, and maybe do some backend work. And then in tomorrow's live, what we'll do is we will definitely maybe do some backend work over there, show you what's it all about, how that works, because I'll show you over here quickly. I don't know if it's exposing me. If it is, it's okay. But if I go under MIH dev, you'll see Swagger UI. So this is documentation is already built into to Fast API. I don't have to code any of this. This is just an easy way for me to, let me try medicine, right? So here's the API I use to search for medicine, right? So I can't try it out now because it's secured with execute. You can see unauthorized because my APIs are secured. We can't test it out now, but yeah, it's an easy way for you to test out your APIs instead of now doing it through your browser or through Postman, which is another tool. Let's open that up. So normally what people would use is Postman to test out APIs and all of these things. But if you don't want to use that, you can use Swagger. It's already built into the technology. No extra work is needed. So here's Postman over here. Postman is the thing that they use to test out APIs. I'm not going to access my workspace now because I don't use that tool, but cool. Thank you so much, Nhloni, for the follow. I appreciate you. So let me switch this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the MIH lives. I really do appreciate your feedbacks, your comments, your likes, your follows, your downloads, all of the above. I appreciate all of it. Thank you so much, Tsepang, for the follow. I like it. Yeah, so don't forget, we are live Monday to Thursday at 7. Normally we go live for like an hour, but when the conversations are lit and things like this, we do extend that. And don't forget to download us. We are, or check us out on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. All you have to do is search Mzansi Innovation Hub, and we should be at the top of the list. You'll see it right here, Google Play Store and Google, and the Apple App Store also, right? And we have multiple features over there, right? Don't only use Mzansi AI or don't only use MIH for Mzansi AI or Ask Mzansi. We have multiple features. The best one out there is, let me show you quickly. Let me show you quick what the best feature is. So the best feature that I use on a regular basis is the Mzansi wallet, right? So it's a place to store all my loyalty cards digitally, right? So if I click on this, I can go to, who uses this? Pep, for example, and get discounts over there. I can go to Macro and use this over here. I can go to OK Foods, which is a cool one, and use that. And I can go to Checkers and use it, right? So just like Store Card, but we don't only provide you with a digital wallet, we provide you with an AI, a patient manager, for you to have your consultation notes, all your documentation. You can see prescriptions. We have multiple features over here. So don't only use MIH, a calculator, tip calculator, forex calculator, right? Multiple things. Play around with it, test it out. Let me know what you think about it. And also, if you are liking it, you can share it with other people by going to About MIH, clicking on the share button, and then depending on whether this person has an Android, iOS, or they just want to use it on the web, you can share it over there. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live. I will see you again tomorrow. And let's keep working hard, Mzansi.